Okay, time for questions. Go ahead.
Hello, sir. So my question is, how to achieve excellence in the initial years of job?
Okay. So what you need to do is, while you are still in the college, master the fundamentals. So people should come to you in the organization, look for your advice. That's one. Secondly, during college time, build great network. Your peers, your seniors, work with the faculty, learn what their strengths are, and keep that relationship going. And third, join a professional organization where you will come in contact with many professionals from various fields, and there you can take leadership role to practice and hone up your leadership skills. So it's up to you to prepare yourself so when you enter the workforce, you stand out compared to others, those who do not have it. One. Secondly, be humble. I need to share a very specific work done by Clayton Christensen, who is in HR here. You may know about his work, Harvard Business School. He's one of the most admired professors around the world, Clayton Christensen. He gave a parting lecture to the Harvard Business School graduating class of 2010. This is the time the bubble had busted for the real estate. Normally, if you get MBA from Harvard, you get 4 or 5 offers, 6-figure salary guaranteed, and people were having hard time finding a job. So he told them, how do you measure the value of your life? So it is like a strategic plan what you use at the workplace. You need to have a strategic plan at the personal level. So you decide on what is important. Then at the family unit, you need to have a trust with your spouse. Third, do not cross boundaries, ethics. If you cross it once, tendency is you will be tempted to cross it again and again. And he gave the example, Jeffrey Skilling, Enron, president, he was his classmate in our business school. Jeffrey Skilling and his CEO, they were cooking the books. The Enron went up in flames. They took down the archives and along with it, the variation. So both were studying at the same time. One became master in HR and change, other one behind bar, right? And then be humble. No matter how much education you have, when you go out, when you interact with people, everybody has something to contribute. And then the last thing is measure what matters. It's not the number of cars, number of houses, vacation homes you own, but how many lives have you touched at the end of the day. That's the major you should have in mind. So I would highly recommend get that article, make it a reading for everyone, so that they are all grounded, flying high and not a lot of hot air, because once you get some good thing, you get flying in the sky. So this is the purpose of life. God has sent us with specific mission in mind. If we can make use of that, world will be a little better place than it came before. Okay?
Thank you,
I
sir.
hope that makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll come to you because sometimes I don't pick up all the nuances. It's okay. No problem. I'll go. I can get some exercise. Walking is good. Otherwise, I walk about almost 2 hours a day. First thing, after breakfast, 1 hour. We have a long lobby in the house. I keep walking. In last 5 years, I've lost 18 pounds of weight. All the indicators are doing well. That's what my wife is my medical doctor. Is an MD. A doctor at home. Go ahead.
So my question is, now we are going to join an organization. So what can be done if the leader and sometimes our colleague will be egoistic and arrogant sometimes? Some might have attitudinal problems too.
Right.
So how can we tackle the situation and the adjoining question that will arise with it? How will the work be effective?
Okay. Yeah, so I think let's go back to the scenario. You are in a team setting where you are faced with this kind of people, right? So first of all, if you have a good team leader, be able to see the landscape and find out there are disjoint here, the problems are there. And then it's one-on-one that leader needs to work on with that person. I'll give you one example. Basically, what we are trying to say is that people who are technically expert, but they are arrogant, and we call them acidic. Whatever they touch, it burns. A great book by two professors from Stanford, Zero Tolerance for Jerks in the Workplace. Zero Tolerance for Jerks in the Workplace. These are technical experts, but they cannot get along with anybody. So it's the role of the top management to isolate them, give them on notice, change your behavior to your 5 months, 6 months window. Don't give any people to report to them unless they change the behavior and willing to work. Eject them, throw them out, because they are polluting the entire atmosphere and has a negative impact on the rest of the people. Now, if your leaders don't do that, organization will start going down. And that's a signal you need to go out and find a better place where people are more ready to listen to you. They are going to be more supportive. And let's all keep in mind, in the 21st century, each one of us are free agent. If they don't respect our gifts on the table, we are free to take our single view, go somewhere else where somebody will respect us more. So in year 2000, when I saw AT&T, my management, the boss was much junior to me. He had no knowledge of quality, customer, people, process, all in marketing. Book the sale and do nothing. And that's where Lucent went down $89 stock market value, December 99. January 2001, it was 25 cents. So all the wealth was wiped out. They had to lay off 100,000 people because of that. And I lost all my retirement savings. So the point is, we need to really look for the place where they value the employees. And there are many opportunities. And I would also encourage a lot of you to think about starting your own company. Be an entrepreneur. Don't look for a job. Create job for others. We had Professor Mohammed Yunus come to Chicago. We had a chance to take him for the Chicago Public Radio interview. He said our education system is geared in the wrong way. We are creating beggars, people begging for jobs. We need to create the entrepreneurs who will provide the jobs. And all of you are still young, if you have some support, take risk and you will be successful. Now, I started my company at the age of 55. I regret not starting early, but you are in a totally different space. So think of becoming an entrepreneur. Everybody will work for somebody else. And working for somebody else is not much fun. I put it this way, I am not employable. I cannot work for anyone. I only have one boss, that's my wife. I'm accountable to her. But other than that, I do what I feel like doing. And I am having fun of my life. Last 16th year I'm on with my company, enjoying what I do. Made over 500 presentations in the last 15, 16 years. Currently I'm doing almost 150 presentations because of all this Google Hangout and everything else. It's fun. And I always take one new topic a year to learn. And as a faculty, one of the messages, if you don't know the subject, start teaching. That will force you to learn that in depth and it'll convince you. And again, be a lifelong student. Learn something new. Learn, apply, share, and help others. And I'll give you a short story if you have a minute. When I was at IIT the year I joined in 64, our batch had doubled, 30 to 60. So 8 people from Mumbai, 12 from Gujarat showed up. So we had a Guju gang of 20 out of 60. So they used to call us Guju gang anyway. These are all brilliant people. 9 months, 13 subjects, no semester system, no midterm exam. 9 months, you take the exam, if you pass, you go to the next level, otherwise you stay behind. all my friends were very brilliant first time coming up to the house. They started enjoying. Go to movie every day, some coming from Gujarat every day. Never showed up in the class. First 8 months, no study. Mine was totally different. I had stayed away because I had lost my parents by the age of 6. So I stayed here in couple boarding in Matunga for 2 years while I was in Khalsa College. I was out of the house by SSC. So I knew how to manage my time well. I would study first 8 months. Have great notes taken. Take past 10 years questions, solve them, prepare everything ready, and then give it to my friends. Last month, no studies. I was consultant on demand. They will be in a big hurry to pick up something in 1 month. So they will pose me tough questions that allow me to study a little bit more in depth. Whether they benefited or not, I benefited a lot. Because I could answer any tough question because they were intelligent. They will pose me that way. So I had enough time to reflect. So what the essence is, when you help others, you get help much more automatically. Right? And that has planted a seed in me to take on the academics, be a consultant. And my lifelong at AT&T, 17 years, I was an internal consultant, advising the vice president and senior directors. But they did not have the in-depth knowledge. So it's the knowledge is power. And master something, so people will come to you. And be humble. And don't make waves. Try to do it in a low-key way so people will come to you. Yeah. Time for one more question.
Thank you, sir.
You come here.
So how to tackle the inefficiencies of outsourced services in the midst of a project?
Okay. All right. So you are working in a project and you have outsourced something. So what you do is before you select your outsourced company, you need to do a lot of fact finding.
So, but like I have chosen it and I'm in the middle. Now
Right.
I can't do anything. I can't back out that.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more about what difficulty are you finding. Then I can at least try to give you some solution.
So like they are not working on the time aspects. Like I
Right.
give them certain limitation on time, but they are not working with that. So like my project is getting delayed.
Okay. So I think one suggestion to keep in mind, when you sign a contract, there has to be a clause that if you don't deliver on time or the performance is not meeting, there will be some deduction. If you do it on time, performance is meeting. If you do it early, something there is a bonus. So that's the kind of thinking one needs to do. Now, in your current case, you are already in the midstream. One thing you can do, your counterpart, elevate it to higher level. Your higher level, their higher level. Put them together and you make a pitch. Project is in trouble. Unless these things are done, results are not expected. So you don't take the blame. Put the problem where it belongs. So this is some of the things we need to think about, that most of the time we don't speak up. We take the situation as is and try to solve it at our level. One thing I learned working at AT&T was elevate it to upper level. And if you do it skillfully, do it with tact, they are there to solve the problems. They are given big money. They have to use their way to intervene. And if that happens, your problem can be solved. So I wish you good luck on that. Okay.
Can I share an observation? I would like to give my observation. The first observation was your question was I will answer by what I saw in cricket the other day. Dhoni was playing very well, but it's the Dhoni who made the finish. It happens in life. You cannot complain. Your turn will come. Regarding GM, I don't know name, please don't misunderstand me. You started with saying we will now join the company. Why should we join? You are talking, I may join. There may be others who want to be entrepreneurs. The moment you say we all will join, some good people who would have been entrepreneurs, you are forcing them to join company. Don't misunderstand me again. So this is one observation I saw. On the other hand, what's important is for you to judge what is your quality, not what is the other man's quality. You cannot come say that that man is a useless man. It's for you to adjust. You have been chosen by a HR person, finding you fitting culturally, mind you. Yeah, it's not a gully cricket. Yeah, otherwise you will be in third, fourth. It's not. So it's something you have been chosen culturally, fitting into the organization. So you should not have a problem. And the other could be you have been brought in, so you are to take over a mantle. Don't get disheartened by somebody not behaving properly. There's always a boss who is going to figure everything. The last one over here, can you repeat again? I have an answer for you.
So how to tackle with the inefficiency of outsourcing?
I was a CEO. I had a number of situations where the outsourcing people were not giving me the result. But the CEO position is exactly for that, to ensure that the projects are monitored and to be in limelight. I had the pleasure of sacking people, badly, but it happens. In which case, you should not hesitate and make sure that the project is on track. That's the quality of the people. And you will do that, mind you, once you are in. You need to have alternates. If suppose somebody leaves you and goes, what are you going to do? Your assistant leaves you. You cannot say, no, my assistant is gone, I cannot do anything. They will say, you go. So you need to be aware and you need to have a plan B always on that.
I think you gave an answer to another gentleman about the ATM use. You don't know the use of it. What is this? Tell them what is use. You excited that this company came down, Lucent came down.
Yes.
Lucent is not known in India.
Yeah.
Lucent was known in India in 60s and 70s.
Correct.
But there was not a Lucent.
Yeah. Yeah, the things have changed though.
Yeah.
New leadership come and they have learned from the experience also. But in our time, we had a CEO, Rich McGee. He was a salesman, elevated to that position, and his role was only to acquire companies. As a salesman, that's the tendency, and book the same. So there were a lot of bogus sales made on the books, but there was no money coming. And then the telecommunication market, there was a revolution. Optical fiber coming in, so the landline more of that, wireless more of it. And then competition was intense. They misjudged the market, could not manage the supply chain, and they collapsed. That was a disaster. Otherwise, AT&T, Bell Labs, the best company in the world, was wiped out. So that's the reality. We need to learn from it. And entrepreneurship, I would highly recommend all of you to dabble with it. Don't work for somebody. If you have any interest in becoming, I tell my both sons also, start your own single. You'll work very hard, you are young, you can take on all the challenges. And if you have a good idea, work on it. You will make great amount of money as well as satisfaction with the tremendous that you are now on your own. You will be employing other people and do great things. So don't look for jobs all the time. And we had no choice. When we went from here in 68, I come from the trading family in Veneers. We have nobody in the professional, nobody works for anybody else. So I had no chance of finding a job. So no choice but to go overseas. And once you are there, get a degree and good work, you take whatever you get. And later on I realized that I need to be on my own. Because if you work for somebody who has no idea what you can do for them, that's a mistake. Right? So take risk. And the life is all about calculated risk. Right? If you want to be comfortable with the 8 to 5 job, making money, that's your choice. But if you have something, take risk, be an entrepreneur, and help grow, and you'll make a big mark. So that's my advice.
So my question is that what will be your course of action if someone failed to achieve excellence in initial stage? And so sometimes happens that the particular person have a good idea, but after they apply and after 2-3 failures, he got demotivated. At that time, what will be his course of action?
Okay, so if you are the leader managing that person first of all has taken the risk, right? And it did not work. So the point is, it's okay to fail, but you need to learn from that failure so that you are not repeating the same mistake again. That's one thing. Secondly, there are many leaders or the managers who would not allow a lot of risk taking because they are risk averse themselves. They roll to the point, Pareto principle. They come to a position where they are useless to themselves and to the organization. They don't do anything. And I'll put it, all the IITs, most of them, their directors have reached to that level of incompetence, practically. And you are smiling, and I witness it at my own alma mater. Let's keep it in the room. Disregard for the alumni, disregard for doing anything. They are very happy, they are getting all the salaries they need. Why do anything extra? And that's where the issue is. Now you are failing 3 times, right? Hope it's not the same issue you are stumbling on. If you are making different mistakes, each of those mistakes should get you to the point where you are one step away from the success. So remember Thomas Alva Edison. He failed 1,000 times to invent the light bulb. He said, I have not failed. I've come as close to getting the invention. I'm just getting closer and closer and closer. So you should have, first of all, taking risk is good, but take a calculated risk so that you are not taking the entire organization in the wrong direction. And work with your leadership to explain what's going on, why there is a failure. Maybe it's lack of resources, maybe lack of skills. Then you acquire those things and then work on it with full skill. Don't give up. Persistence pays. Remember Dr. Kumar, be persistent. I need to be here. I'm here. Okay, I hope it makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
If you have to change something, you have to do something different. So if you are doing the same thing and failing, you will continue to do the same thing and fail again. So you need to find out what is that small something different here.
One last question from Mr.
Sir, one question to both the guests. How do you balance your professional as well as your personal life?
Yeah, I think you don't go first. You go first.
Honestly, I don't have any professional life. I have only personal life. I enjoy my life. Because more or less, either you can call it a retired or a self-made man.
But that is after having a wonderful professional life.
But you have a problem if you are a CEO. Of course, you have to be committed. I was the first person to come and the last person to go. Sometimes as early as 7:30 and as late as 12 o'clock in the night. Sometimes later on. It will eat your personal life. Sometimes it will give you bad health. Then you have to be careful. So especially budding people, they will have to be extremely careful. Some of them may line up with American clients who operate only in the night. So these sort of things you need to be careful. Now it's for individuals to understand how they go. And some years he says, I make sure that 2-hour walking I do. That's important in life. So it's equally important that you should be knowledgeable, go into the internet, go into the various magazines, understand what the world, what are the cases. These are important.
Now, personally, I think I made many mistakes when I was working at Bell Labs. Instead of 40 hours, I must have spent 60 hours at work. And I do remember at times my wife, my sons, they were unhappy. But for me, I did not have a choice. The first generation going overseas, very hard to break in. And when you get a good break, you really want to show what you are worth. And because of the subtle discrimination, I had to work almost 150% more to prove that what I am capable of. And then my wife, she was professional also, we had some help, so we managed. And then, of course, both my children, I was very strict with them, at least the first one. He got the brunt of it. Then I realized I made a mistake, so second one got it free almost. So first one still reminds me that you are very easy with the second one. I said, I learned my lessons, they were a mistake. Yeah, it happens. And this is the way life is all about. My biggest thing is that remember at the end of the day, whatever gives you best satisfaction, you focus your energy. Now, we are a professional family. My wife is a medical doctor, so she has her views and she does her work. I don't interfere with her. I take care of mine. She doesn't interfere with me. So, for example, currently, and by the way, I'm never going to retire till the last day, as long as God is asking me to stay here and to serve. I enjoy what I do. So, work is no longer work. It's just fun every day. I get excited to do all this Google Hangout. And when the Hangouts happen, I go to sleep by about 12:31. I get up late. I do get 8 hours of my sleep. So that's one thing I must have to remain sharp and focused. And I keep reading a lot of good things. I'm very active on the social media, and I've seen the benefit of the positive side, not to waste time, but use it in a positive way and help others. So when you work on something, balance will come when it's fun. If it is a drudgery and a chore, you don't like to do what you are doing, then you are getting bored. And I'll send you this one slide on the value of time. I just saw it somewhere in the Facebook or LinkedIn, copied it and added it on the presentation. So the presentation gets revised. And it's a very nice one-pager. Share it with everybody and it will be fun. So with that, I want to thank all of you for your undivided attention.
One minute, I just want to add something. Please do not postpone anything in personal you want to always do. The time never comes, it has to be that day. Anything coming thinking, do it that day, don't do it. Now, you will regret it later that you have to. And the idea will not come to you again.
Thank you.
Operations question.
When India will have its own market or
Well, a lot of companies are now using it. So, as I mentioned, Tata Groups have their own. Then I believe the Indian Merchants of Chambers, they have their same assessment criteria and all that. So, and then there is Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, a board, etc. The only problem in India is we have learned well from Britishers, divide and rule. We don't want to unite. We all have our factions, and everybody wants to be the chief. Nobody wants to be the worker. In US, the highest level, only one award, best of the best. Of course, there are some in the military and armed forces, etc., but there is different level. We need that kind of national integration with a single mindset. That thing we have not learned well. Painful, but that's the reality. And I wish all of you much professional success and personal success to go with it and conquer the world. They are all waiting for your gift. You give.